Greetings and welcome back. So, this is going to be part 3 of how to manifest with tarot. So, this is going to be about reading the candle, okay, and the flames and all of that. So, I might have to do a part 4 to read glass, the aftermath of it, and do an update on the burn and all that stuff because obviously I'm not going to be able to do it in this video. So, we're going to have to do a part 4. All right, so the flames. So the flames are important because they kind of are communications for the progress of your candle. What's going on with it? Is it a successful intent? Is it clear? Is it non-resistance going on? Or is there resistance? Is there communication? Is there assistance? Is there some sort of fight against your intentions? Are they not clear intentions? Are they not good intentions? All of that will be communicated through the flame and through the glass as well. One thing that I forgot to mention, when you're picking out your candle, you must make sure that you have a good wick. So if you have a wick that's leaning too much towards the side of your glass, that's going to cause problems later. What it's going to do is if it's too close to the sides of your glass, or the front or the back of it, whatever, it's going to potentially crack or worse, completely break. Okay. That has happened to me before. You have to be careful with some of these candles. They might not be centered correctly. So just make sure that the wick is sitting straight up in the middle and not too cocked to one side, because you're going to have problems later. That's just a heads up. First initial burn is everything. Now, sometimes you might get a candle that has a stubborn light, meaning you can't seem to get your candle to light. So, or you have a flame that burns out midway through the burning process. So if you have problems with the initial light, that could be a bad candle. It doesn't always have to be a bad thing. It could just be simply the candle is bad, the wick is not good. Or maybe if you listen to the cleansing process part of part 2, if you get water in there and that wick is not dry, it's most likely not going to burn, and it will probably make a little sound, like a little sound. If it's too wet, it's not gonna light. It's not gonna light. Um, the third thing that it could be is that the timing is not right. So maybe at a later time, or your energy may not be right, your intentions may not be clear, or may not be right, or there's some level of resistance. And then from there, you're going to have to kind of use your intuition and sit with yourself and figure out what's the resistance potentially. Now, if your candle, let's say, is burning for like a couple hours or so, and you notice it just blows out by itself, no one's around, um, it could also be sometimes too, I learned that maybe you don't really need to go this route, or this isn't necessary, or again, it could be resistance, but you got to use your intuition. Don't always jump to the most negative case scenario. Um, but like I said, if you had like issues with lighting the candle, there's some level of resistance, or potentially it's a bad candle, one or the other. So that's something to note. So the initial light is everything, like I said. So the stronger the flame, the powerful the intention. It's clear, it's precise, and it's successful. And one way that you know that you have a successful burn is that it consistently stays lit like this throughout the entire burn, or every time you light it, if you have to, for whatever reason, blow your candle out. If you're leaving your house or something, you don't want to leave it unattended. For whatever reason, you need to blow it out. That consistent, steady flame is a good sign. Um, Even the puny ones, the puny flames could be just like a need for patience, and things are steadily working itself out. So if it's like a strong, bright flame, it's not like very weak to where it's hardly burning. And sometimes it's just a matter of too much wax. So if your wick is kind of like low and the wax is a little close to the wick, you might have to pour out some of the wax while it's burning, and be careful when you do that. Um, And sometimes that's just what the energy is. It's a steady, patient, like be patient with the process flame. Flickering flames that dance around. A lot of activity, a lot of movement around this could be a positive thing, especially if you don't have any black smoke. Black smoke is never a good thing, especially if you don't have anything inside of your candle, no dust, no particles, no resid, like nothing, any smoke coming from it, and there's no color that would create that, like a dark colored candle that would create that smoke. That's not really always a good sign. Um, that could be interference of some sort. Now, flickering flames can also be communication from the other side. This is all up for intuition and experience, because there's so many different resources online of candle magic. Some are consistent to each other. So if you see that consistency in meaning, most likely that's based off of everyone kind of sharing a similar experience with their candles. Like everyone knows that if your candle cracks, that's not a good thing, especially if there's nothing, like if there's too much heat in your space, you have too many candles around, or maybe you have some herbs in there. Like I said, the candle wick is too close to the glass. Those are just natural happenings. Obvious. If it is nothing of the sort, it's just a pure, clear candle, just like this. There's nothing in it. There's nothing going on around it. The wick is fine. That's probably something working against you or backfiring or trying to attack you. Or if you're setting out bad intentions, it's coming back towards you and that person's protected. Now, we're not doing anything towards other people, so we shouldn't worry about that, right? Um, but yeah, that's not a good omen to have when you're doing candle work. Um, Crackling candles or flames where they crack and pop. Sometimes for me, that's either it could be one or two things: communication from the other side. It could be a little bit of a fight that's being put up, or your spiritual team is working on your behalf, and there might be a little bit of resistance. Because I'm kind of getting like people bickering on the spirit room type thing. That's what I think of when I hear the cracking and popping. It could be communication on the other side, or something that you may need to pay attention to or listen to. Um, what else? Splitting flames, that has happened to me before. I've had weird experiences where the flames split. That could be good for if it's a partnership energy, and the flames are very steady. They're not fighting against each other, or it's no negative, like, you know, smoky energy, or the glass isn't dark. That could be some type of partnering energy, or like a divine help energy. If it's two flames warring against each other, like the flames are moving about and it's kind of chaotic, you can tell by the energy that maybe it's not good. Me personally, maybe this isn't everybody's stance, but for me, like when I would work with candles, I can always tell, like I can read the energy pretty well and be like, okay, this looks powerful. This looks like it's working. Like you can read it, right? Me personally, I don't know about everybody. Um, if that's everyone's experience, but I feel like most practitioners or people that work with candle work and magic use their intuition. 9 times out of 10, they're going to use their intuition to read the candle. They're not always going by a book and what Google says and what YouTube says or TikTok or whatever. So it's really your intuition and how you read the candles, how you read the flame. And with the glass, um, you'll get a pretty good indication of how successful the candle was based off of the glasses, the state of the glass when it's done burning. Now, if you have, like I said, you run into that case where it doesn't burn fully, because that has happened to me before too, where the candle might have like this much wax left, like a inch or so left, and the wick is fully burned. It just means the work is done, the job is done. Like you didn't really need to go that far with it. It's good. And then some candles, that wax is gone, honey. Like it's nothing left. And it's like, bitch, we did that. And there was no resistance, no successful shit. Burn. Probably won't even need to burn it again. Do this thing again. Like it's done. Um, just because maybe you feel like you need to do it again doesn't have to be a bad thing, you know? Doesn't have to be. especially when you're setting intentions on manifesting a better you or better circumstances. Sometimes there are other elements of yourself that you're going to have to work towards being receptive to that energy, right? So obviously, I would also write down your progress of your intentions and any changes that you've been experiencing along with this, with the process. Always remember to set your intentions and affirmations, and or more so not set your intentions because it's already set, but to pray or to do your mantras, do your affirmations, meditate with your tarot card that you're working with. I might do an oracle card one too, but do that often as long as the candle is burning. Like, continue to put that energy in motion. Write down the progresses throughout the burning process, right? Because it might take a few days. If you use a 7-day candle, your candle is most likely going to burn for up to 7 days or maybe less, like a few days. It's not going to be a one and done overnight. It's not a tea light. It's not one of those baby lights. So it's going to take some time. Even with this one, it's short, but it's a pretty full candle. Um, yeah, so we'll get into in part 4 the glass, the aftermath, and I will show you guys what my candle looks like and what I get from it. And we'll talk about also what you do after the fact with your candles and all of that. So I hope that this has been helpful so far. I hope you guys love this. Like, I enjoy doing this video. It's fun for me. I enjoy this type of shit. Okay. And if you guys have any, like, experiences that you guys have with your candles and maybe like a way that you interpret them, and I'm open to hear it. I don't feel like there's a right or wrong way to read the candles. I feel like it's up to the practitioner, and obviously intuition. you know Everybody's experiences are different. Some may be similar, consistent. But yeah, that's what I wanted to show y'all with part 3. And then part 4 will be coming up soon, so be on the lookout for that. Until next time, much love, peace.